Listen to Dungeons with Dudes, a podcast with dudes. Dungeons, Dragons, and Flagons. Every other Sunday on the Journey into Comics Network.
The following
Journey into Comics.
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 Network
Production.
I'm a dude who likes brews. It's time for Brews with Dudes. Juicy.
Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Brews with Dudes. I'm your host, Nick Maxon, sitting here in the Dudio. It feels like it's been a while since we've gone live. We had a busy week a couple weeks ago where we recorded like 2 or 3 episodes, so we kind of piled up and haven't got back into it. We did a lot of stuff at the pub too.
Yeah,
we were doing a lot of episodes down there.
I think the last time we went live was at the Lord of Hops.
Yes,
And that wasn't recorded audio. It was just a really sweet, live.
I think I think Nate was able to rip the audio.
Ooh.
Nice.
So,
Well, he is the Podfather.
he is the Podfather. Shout out to him. We're gonna be hanging out with him all day tomorrow at LaffyCon.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be there.
Tomorrow is
Excited to be
the
there.
5th annual LaffyCon. The Journey into Comics Network plays host. They kind of announce everything and do live podcasts. We will be doing an episode of Brews. We'll be doing some Dungeons with Dudes as well.
Oh, yeah.
And then I believe I'm going to be on one of Nate's podcasts called The Voice of Survival, where he just kind of interviews someone one-on-one and just kind of gets their story. So you're going to hear the history of Nick Maxon. Most of you, I mean, we've all been super fucked up before, so y'all have heard the story. And you'll have heard stuff that we're definitely not going to be talking about in public. So that'll be exciting. We were talking about doing a Star Wars panel, too.
That'd be cool.
But it kind of... It didn't... Nate forgot to put it on the schedule, so we're not sure if it's going to
Well, I'm
actually
definitely
work.
down for that because I had a really good conversation about the Star Wars movies today at work.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, I'm very, very excited for Star Wars.
Disney's
people
been
are-
making some big things, some big moves as far as Star Wars is concerned.
Speaking of Disney,
That
they-
Star Wars park.
they're setting
Yeah.
up to... They're saying that Avengers Endgame is going to break $1 billion in the first weekend, which has
Holy-
never happened.
That's
That doesn't really surprise me. in
Well,
a way,
they-
though.
that's
They
a
have
big statement.
their pre-sales were in the triple digits.
It was definitely...
No kidding.
They
Yeah.
said it was the biggest Thursday opening ever by a landslide.
Oh wow.
But before we get into all that fun stuff, let's whip out a beer.
Let's get a
So
beer.
today we're going to be sampling some stuff from Weldwerks, which is out in Colorado. I don't remember exactly what city. I feel like it's in the vicinity of Denver. It's one of the suburbs.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. I might be totally wrong. Tex was just out there for a bachelor party, so he loaded up the back of his car with beers.
Oh, hell yeah.
And he was kind enough to drop off a nice little sampling. I know we've got a couple different things.
It's got a nice order right here, so I'm not going to worry about thinking past
Is this
that.
the regular?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first one is one of their classics. It's the Juicy Bits, a New England style IPA. It was brewed with Citra, Mosaic, and El Dorado. Let's see.
Yum.
Keep cold, drink new.
Yum.
Well, Greeley, Colorado. Greeley.
Greeley.
Not familiar with that.
I'm not
familiar with
anything
much of
that's not
Colorado.
Denver.
It's got
Or South Park.
the independent craft seal of approval, meaning it's not the majority of its stake are not owned by a huge company.
Gotcha.
Neat.
And he is pouring the brewski.
Oh,
Brewski.
and look at
That
that
looks hazy
solid
as fuck.
pour.
Maybe not hazy as fuck.
Ooh, that looks like
Fairly hazy.
that looks like orange juice. Well, no, that looks like orange aid.
Orange
Yeah.
aid.
Like Tang.
Anybody
my
out
God.
here? Have you guys ever had
I forgot
Orangeade
about
or
that.
heard of it?
I've heard of it. I've never had it though.
You know what lemonade is?
Right.
It's that with
Same
orange.
concept.
Yeah, and it's so good. It is so good. Like
Never thought about
Minute Maid makes an Orangeade. You can normally get it at Payless. I know I've seen it at the Payless on Greenbush around here. It's so good.
It sounds good.
This looks and
Right
sounds
after
good.
a hot time of mowing the yard.
This
Put
juicy
a little
bits.
rum in there.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Careful
senor.
Making a lot of noise. All right. Hello there, Tiffany. Welcome. Long time no see. It's been a very long time. All right. You guys ready to dive in?
Oh yeah.
Ready.
Cheers.
Cheers.
The smell. That's phenomenal.
Oh, it just juiced me right in the mouth.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
it's so juicy.
Very
Juicy
good.
in the mouth.
Tired of radiator
A
and
little
juicy
nice
in
on
the
the
mouth.
palate.
Grapey in the mouth. He's the graper, or the grapist.
He is the grapest.
Whitest kids you know
What?
were really, really funny in their prime. The Abraham Lincoln one, you remember that?
Oh my god.
He's at the theater and Abraham Lincoln's just being a total dickhead. He's like yelling down, like, "Oh, pause the play, I gotta piss." And then one of the guys in the crowd is like, "You better shut the fuck up or I'm gonna come over there and hammer you in the ass." And then at the very end they're like, and that is actually what happened on that fateful day. Abraham Lincoln was hammered in the ass.
He has a good old cramology on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Got
forgot
up in
about
there and
Wise
went,
Kids.
"Cram."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, some good bits from that show.
Yep, classic. He's still doing stuff, but it's not nearly as funny.
Sad.
So sad. What was his name? Trevor. I don't know. Did any of you guys watch it extensively?
No.
Here
Not
and
really.
there.
He had a lot of fun stuff.
The one that I used to watch a lot though on YouTube was that Vsauce. You guys
Yeah.
ever watch that?
No.
Oh yes, Matt Lawton. Beer. Have are the indie craft brew dudes hyped to the Weldwerks? That's where it's at. We had a lot of fun with the indie craft beer guys down at Lord of Hops at
Oh,
Poplar.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Super fucking nice guys. Super cool little fest they had there.
Yeah, very chill.
Do we have the Brews with Dudes sign handy?
Not handy.
Oh.
Yeah. What's Paul Powell saying? Quick subject change. Raptors show sound quality spot on. Thanks for streaming. Kicked my own ass for not making an appearance. Thank you. We've been honing in the streaming at the shows. We're actually tonight we're going to be streaming some hip hop performances.
Really?
So
Yee.
that'll be fun.
Nice.
Justin Hoffman, welcome.
What's up, Justin?
Melody.
Hi.
Melody.
What up?
I am smashing through this. This is so
Oh,
good.
this is so crushable.
Oh
It's-
yes.
Don't worry, Justin. We will drink for you.
We're going to drink about 4 beers for you, Justin.
Yep.
We're gonna give that good cramology.
So get on there, smash that heart react.
Yep.
Because
Smash
real
it.
friends heart react, they don't like.
Yep.
Maybe the share button if you're feeling squirrely.
We could always use that. We could always use some shares.
Oh yeah.
Some shareology.
Yep.
Like one of them boys.
Them boys. All right. Why don't
Here's
we
Sherrilton.
pick the next one?
Ooh, I already got it lined up. Well, you had it lined up. I'm just going left to right.
Oh, that's so
Is that
good.
is that the right way to do it?
Yeah.
So this is probably a big boy. Check the other one. What's that?
The other one's a big boy, too. This one's 8.3. And it's a double.
It appears we've come to an impasse.
This is a double too. I'm not.
This
seeing
is the step up from that one we just drank, so I figured.
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
And then the last one is definitely a finisher.
The last one's a sour, I think. So
Is it?
yeah.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
The
I thought-
Neapolitan?
Yep.
Wow.
Ooh, it is a
Wow.
Neapolitan ice cream sour. Ooh.
So we're about to dive into. Well, I'm gonna finish my beer. Austin, you can tell them about it.
We're down into the Nelson Extra Juicy Bits, which is brewed with Nelson Sauvin, Citra Mosaic, and El Dorado hops. Just It sounds like we just said that.
Yeah. Yep.
And this one doesn't really say much about it. Keep cold, drink now, fine-tuned beer. It's looks like it's a double IPA of the juicy bits. So you just doubled down and maybe got double as juicy.
Nelson Extra Juicy Bits.
Extra juicy bits.
Extra
Let me
juicy.
drop the mic and pour this out.
Boo boo boo.
Their cans are really neat too, like the designs. As far as the designs, you know.
Pretty straightforward. I like the text.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
Mm-mm-mm.
that looks good.
It does.
It's got a nice color.
A little bit, looks a little bit darker than the last one.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
Looks very hazy. I like it.
Yes. Yes.
Yas, queen.
Do it.
Thank you, Senor Hill.
Oh, muchas gracias.
All right.
Well, without further ado,
Cheers.
Oh, that is
oh yeah,
That's so smooth.
It
super
is.
smooth.
For a
Arguably
double,
smoother.
yeah, for a
Yeah,
double,
it's
hands
definitely
down.
smoother. It's got more of a smooth flavor, so it makes it just
The other
feels
one had
smooth.
kind of like a hoppy bite at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
you
taste.
can definitely taste on the back end.
This is definitely has a hoppy flavor, but it's not biting you. It's just eases you into it after all the juice.
Yeah.
And it's like a nice little slide by. Hey, try this.
Yeah, no, this is way smoother than the regular juicy bits. Wow.
No, Justin, we are not going to do that. We are not going to stand on the table, take the shirt off, and swing it around your head like a helicopter.
This is in South Carolina. We're not Petey Pabloing it up in here.
Survey says, no.
The survey says, thumbs down.
No.
Proper team says no.
So what do you guys want to talk about?
Actually, I'll talk a little bit about the Star Wars I was talking about today.
Let's hear it.
And how we're me and this guy, he's saying it's supposed to be a sci-fi opera.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where the first one, and even the first trilogy, and then the second trilogy from 1 through 3 were still more of a sci-fi opera. It's supposed to be like very dramatic and just, you know, a little over the top with some of the more emotional stuff, and it just
More
got to
grandiose.
get some of that cheesiness, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just like it's supposed to just be kind of like have that kind of, you know, soap opera kind of feel, but like a sci-fi, which was very well portrayed in the first 3. But a lot of people hated it. They just hated it because of that. They were like, well, that's what Star Wars is. It's a sci-fi opera. And then with the new ones that are coming out, people are hating them, going, man, all you're doing is just ripping off the old stuff and doing the old stuff again. I'm like,
as if the world isn't cyclic, you know?
Yeah.
Cyclic, however
Well,
the fuck you want
Wise
to
man
say
once said,
when
if
you
it's not
look
broke,
at
don't
your
fix it.
main protagonist, Kylo Ren, what's he doing in the first one? He's absolutely full-on obsessing about Darth Vader and the old Empire and everything they did. He's even got a mask, and he's trying to walk around and be and talk and just be Darth Vader.
Yeah.
So
Almost that
what
whole
else do you think
persona.
he's going to do? He's going to try to, you know, emulate the
Continue.
Death Star and just his main weapon. And what did he do? He made a bigger, more powerful one out of a planet. This kid obsessed with the past and trying to recreate it, and suddenly you're hating on it because you don't get the fucking movie?
It's almost like they're giving a slight to those fans
Right.
who are obsessed with the past and don't know how to just fucking move on.
Huh.
Weird.
Actually,
How weird.
huh. Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting.
Yep.
You know?
You have that on
I'm
these
all
bigger
fucking
drives.
in. Like, it really, really sucks. I can't imagine how many times we fucking talked about this, but
Yeah.
I hate the fact that Star Wars fans, like, so adamantly, like, they wanted to protest Solo, and they did it. And fucking Disney heard them, and now Disney's like, okay,
That's
fine.
ridiculous.
We won't do any more. Like,
Yeah.
guys, what the fuck? Come on.
What the
That's
fuck? Did you not
ridiculous.
see Darth Maul at the end? Fuck.
Like,
and
it just...
they keep saying like the one meme that keeps popping up is Lando, Palpatine, anything from the past, we're desperate. Like, why are you guys so fucking hateful? Oh, characters we love are coming back. Like, y'all are fucking sucking at the teat of Marvel, and anytime someone pops into a movie, you're like, oh shit, this guy's coming back, he's not been in this like,
oh fuck, and they're like,
hell?
oh, I don't care about the original like backstory and everything. What they did was needed, and that's okay.
See, I find it very naive that some of the Star Wars fans aren't willing for change. As far as the whole grand scale of things, because things are gonna change.
Yeah.
Like this, as obviously storylines and other major details. But I find it kind of naive to just want more of the same, like literally the same.
I can't comment too much because I haven't watched all the newer ones that have come out. But from what I have seen, like I've still enjoyed them.
Because they're fine movies.
You know what? One of the big arguments I hear a lot is that people are like, "All these lightsaber battles and stuff, you barely get anything. I want the lightsaber battles. I want these great fights." Well, what the original trilogy have? Like, what? 3 good lightsaber fights?
If you want to even call them
that. Like,
the early lightsaber fights?
Like the early ones? Like you had
but then
Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, which was all of, like, just a background thing. And then you had Darth Vader and Luke, which was mostly Vader just whooping his ass up and down the fucking aisle.
Yeah.
And then you had the last one between Vader and Luke at the very end of Return of the Jedi. And then
I guess the fight with
played very little of anything else except for blocking blaster shots. And then now you're like, the 3 were the best. They had the best fight scenes. They barely had lightsaber fight scenes. Yeah. And you're crying about having movies that have a bunch of lightsaber fight scenes really well drawn out.
So I think with Episode 1, Phantom Menace, I think that was the best lightsaber fighting.
Oh, absolutely.
And then I think they overdid it. They definitely overdid it with 2, I think. And then 2 and 3 definitely I felt went over the top with the lightsabers. I didn't like the Yoda thing. I hated the Yoda.
Yeah. Yoda Palpatine fight.
That Yoda yell.
Yeah, that wasn't very fucking good.
Where he's fighting.
I guess I'm more okay with the Palpatine fight, but I was referring to the Dooku fight. I hated
the Count Dooku Yoda fight. Was just fucking awful.
It was cheap.
It was like Count Dooku really wasn't doing much, and he was just like. You could tell they were telling him, "Oh, he's jumping around. You try to act like he's jumping around," and he's just kind of like, really slow and whatever. And Yoda's just flipping and it was so fucking terrible.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like that was like the one thing that was just I felt like was completely out of character with Yoda. Like I didn't expect him to be this spry jump around guy. I expected him to be really powerful with his force abilities and not as strong as a lightsaber fighter. Yeah. He had a lightsaber because all Jedi do, and they have some like decent use of it, but I felt like he was going to be one of the more powerful force users, that he used that more for his fighting than the lightsaber. And then they did that, which was just awful and like demeaning of the character, I thought. Yeah. Like Yoda's not one to overexert himself and do that. He only does what he needs to do because he's all well thought out and planned. And then that just wasn't Yoda.
I think it would have had more of an effect if the Dooku fight didn't happen and the only time he whipped out the saber was for the Palpatine fight. Yeah. I think that would have been the moment where, this is it. Yoda
fucking
is the
serious.
Ultimate good. Palpatine is this ultimate evil, and in that moment, dropping that fucking cloak and whipping out the saber, you'd be like, "Oh shit!" Yoda's about to fucking get it.
Because Yoda put Dooku in his place, but if he would have just used his force abilities to just put him in his place that way, to just show how much more powerful he was than
only to have the Dooku in the first 10 minutes of the third one, and then they killed him. I'm like, why didn't you just let Yoda?
Yeah,
you should have let Yoda murk him, because then it comes to. So he did whip out his saber, and then he wasn't the ultimate badass.
I guess the only significance I can see from that is how you show Anakin, obviously killing him like that. It's not the Jedi way. I don't know.
Still,
I guess that's the only significance I bring out of it.
Let's get to the next one.
But yeah, let's get to the next beer as we work through this.
I am going to have to.
You're scooting out?
I have to.
Gonna
Yes.
All right.
scoot
Zach's
the
got
boot.
dinner, so
Yes.
he's going to scooch out of here.
We'll
I always
let him
appreciate you
finish
guys
his
having me,
cup
though.
and get out of here before we
Thank you very
knock
much.
out that next one. Well, thank you
Yeah.
for enjoying these two brews with us.
And we'll
Zach?
see you next time, Zach, on another episode of Brews
With
Dudes.
We're still going though. We didn't
We're
stop.
not. Yeah, we're
guys.
not done.
We're still
Zach's
going.
done. That's
Just
Zach's
Zach.
out.
Zach, go that way.
Yeah,
Zach,
go
go that way.
go that way.
Go that way.
All right, man.
All right.
See you later.
Late.
What do we got next?
What we got next? We actually, Mr. Carrick can actually move over here. Stop being such a loner on the island. We've got a Cardboard Meteorite. This is a hazy double IPA brewed with Mosaic, Citra hops, HBC 344, 520 experimental hops. Wow.
Wow.
Half of those I don't recognize. Ooh.
Let's crack it open. And
Crack this beast open and get
After
the
hearing
hazy
it, my
goodness.
taste buds kind of jumped a little bit. I'm like, hey.
Let me get a quick.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks again to everybody joining us on Facebook Live. We appreciate you guys joining in with us. And thank you to everyone listening to the audio versions on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Music, wherever you can listen to your podcast. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate the Journey into Comics Network for hosting us. Excited to hang out with those guys tomorrow at LaffyCon. It's $5 to get in, and when you buy your $5 ticket, it's like a parent ticket. So the parent buys a $5 ticket, and the kids get in free.
Nice.
So we're gonna have games. We're gonna have video game tournaments. We have a bunch of vendors selling comic books and action figures and all sorts of fun stuff.
I believe that I'm going to
Whole
bring my
bunches of excitement.
Mega Man board game
Oh, hell yeah.
for us to play. Nick, the three of us actually
Yeah.
dove into that a couple weeks ago, and
Yeah,
it said it's about an hour-long game, but it took us several more hours than that because we were watching a how-to video, and
Yeah.
we're like
Trip or
stopping
two
to
to the
make
bar.
sure. Yeah, we made
You
a
know.
trip or two to the bar in the middle of it, and then we're stopping to re-go over the rules and make sure what we were doing right. And even in the end, we were still doing stuff wrong.
Oh, yeah. But once we actually started jumping into the gameplay, it was definitely a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
And then
Very
once we
enjoyable.
played through and did we all had one boss battle, we stopped. And by that point, we felt like we had enough of a grasp on it that the three of us could definitely sit down and add a fourth or fifth person and be able to play while helping them along.
Yeah.
This is a really good hazy New England style IPA.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it claims that it's a New England style, but it's definitely got that.
It's got that
hop
New
character.
England. It's got that very distinctive sharpness at it that I get from a lot of New England style. Some of them actually some of the more well-tuned ones, you don't get that sharpness, and you get a lot more of the fruitiness and juiciness that roll over at the end instead of that sharpness that end it.
Yeah.
And I've grown to be more inclined to go after those than the ones that have the sharpness. But this one actually has really good flavor up to that, and can get me to ignore that.
Mm-hmm. I'm digging this. I need to make my way out to Weldwerks. I haven't thought of an excuse to go out there yet. I had made an excuse. I wanted to go out to the Great American Beer Fest, and it is happening the same weekend as the Corn Maze Beer Fest. So I'm in a hell of a pickle, because Corn Maze Beer Fest is arguably next to Dark Lord Day, the biggest fest in the state, but Great American Beer Fest is one of the biggest in the country.
Oh, hell yeah.
So
I'm going to say I'm going to dedicate myself to the Beer Maze this year and then look for Beer Fest next year. That way I have more time to plan and save and prepare.
I'm still thinking, because that's what I did last year. I was like, I'll go to Corn Maze this year, get a JBF next year. But
Well,
I need to
next
start paying
year
more attention
we can
to
definitely bro it up
events.
and get there and maybe
we can
get
just
a group.
drive. We can make it a whole trip where we go and stop at places along the way.
Here's one. You know that Lord of the Hops was actually like the first little like thing like that I've ever been to.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Never actually gone to one before. I've always just try something new when I go and buy beer.
They're so much fun. You're able
yeah.
to try so much beer.
And then I figured out that like I made a mistake is I should not go for all the bourbon barrel aged stuff right out the gate.
Oh, we've all made that.
Oh,
mistake.
we
They're delicious,
Nick and I
though.
have done that. Nick and I did that at Tap for Taff last year.
Yeah.
Then we ended up drunk eating ramen.
Oh yeah.
That was good ramen.
That was good ramen. We got it everywhere.
Yeah, it was
I
nice.
don't even think it took me but 30 seconds. I don't think we backed out of the parking spot by the time I was already crashed out in the back. I was lit.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great time though. A lot of fun.
Yeah, and we we hung out with Mike from Indie Craft Brew for a little bit. We hung out with Steven, the gentleman from Hoplore, for a little bit.
Yeah, we actually sat back in the after party for a bit with a bunch of the brewers and those guys from all kinds of breweries, and got to taste some of their the stuff they pulled out of their cellar. Steven even
kind of like their personal kind of stuff.
Even Steven himself brought out like an armload of beers that he had saved back to share with everybody, and it was a lot of fun. Got to hang out with McKinley, more of a one-on-one, more less business, more just chill sort of vibe scene.
We met Tom from Two Toms.
Oh yeah, he was really cool.
One of my favorite breweries. Period. Not just in the state, but period.
Really looking forward to trying to get to their anniversary.
Yep.
When is that? I don't have a.
I thought it was the 22nd of June. No, it's July 20th.
Yes.
And that's the date that we're talking about doing Christmas in July.
Man, I have that weekend open too.
We're referring to my whole wall is covered in a calendar of the year. That's what we're.
It makes it easier to look through your calendar and know what's coming up without having to flip through a calendar.
Was it Two Toms that had that double honey IPA?
I don't remember. They had the key lime.
Yeah, they're the ones with the key lime, the green one.
Yeah, I never tried that one. It definitely kind of piqued my interest a little bit.
It definitely tasted like key lime pie.
That's awesome. I like it when they nail the flavor, like when they say, "Oh, well, it's like this," and then it nails it to a T where it's like, "Oh my gosh, you blew my mind now!" Like the chocolate orange from Dragon's Milk.
God,
oh my
damn.
God!
I missed out on that one, but it sounded so good.
That one was great, and then we were on it. We were like, we want to check out more of these reserves, and we got the s'mores. Terrible.
Yeah, that was not what I was expecting at all.
They just announced I think they called it triple batch. It's 17%. Dragon's Milk. So it's just monstrous.
They have another one. They have a blend coming out here soon too that I've seen.
I think that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, is that what? Okay.
I think, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get up to New Holland.
Yeah.
We need to
Grand Rapids, right? Michigan?
Up there somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
We need
to actually just set aside a weekend where we just go up there.
Oh, you know what really stinks though?
It's got to be a weekend where it's warmer too, because I don't want to be driving up there in a snowstorm again.
Right. They have an event next weekend, I believe it was, that is actually like a whole tour of the brewery. You get like a 4-pack and a glass.
I don't have anything going on next weekend.
And it's the only downfall to it is it is sold out already. Because as soon as I seen it, I was like, oh hell yeah, like why not? Oh,
right.
You mean they're sold out? That's why not. I was very sad.
That happens to me quite often, actually.
Oh yeah, we were gonna try to go out to Toppling Goliath.
Yeah,
and we finally were like, we want an excuse, and they were having some bottle release. We're like, that's our excuse.
That's our excuse.
It's only like 6 hours away, but it's one of the top-rated breweries in the country.
And we're already ready to go. Let's order tickets now. The day's open.
Iowa.
Yeah, we're ready to just pick up and go, and then we went to go get tickets because it hadn't been announced anywhere. It sold out. As soon as we get on the page to get them, sold out.
No, we were waiting. I was waiting.
Oh, you were waiting?
I was waiting, and it sold. They went on sale. I clicked it, and I was in the queue for about a minute, and then it said,
"Oh yeah,
sold out."
Okay, yeah. I remember that now. Where you're in the queue. It wasn't the one where you got the chance to actually buy it, and when you tried to buy it, it said sold out.
No, that was a different one. I don't remember what it is though. Oh. Zwanzig's, I'm pretty sure they're the ones that do the majority of the work for Columbus Beer Fest. that's the same day as Dark Lord Day. And since we didn't get tickets for Dark Lord Day, I might be down to go to that.
Did Dark Lord Day tickets already go on sale this year?
And sold out immediately.
Fuck. No, that's the one that queued you up. You went to buy tickets and it fucking went sold out because it just lagged on you.
I think so.
I'm horrible at keeping up with events, obviously. You know this. I'd ask you almost every day what's going on with the Doom Room events because I always forget. Terrible memory. And so I'll definitely have to be keeping up with you guys a little bit more on that because I definitely had a lot of fun when we went to that.
Facebook?
Whenever you're here, it's all on that wall for the most part.
I'm just going to start snapping a picture of each month. I'm here enough. I should
going on.
remember.
And we're talking like every single weekend is pretty much called for through July.
Oh, yeah.
But there's already stuff in August, September, and October that I haven't written yet.
That's one of my main reasons I keep up with Facebook and stay on there is because, I use the event calendar on there because everything I see I'm interested in or want to go to and see what's up. I always hit interested and I follow it, so I get constant updates about all these events, and my calendar is normally packed. Like the closer it gets to an event, the more stuff is like set out in my weeks and my weekends throughout the calendar, and it's great to be able to just open it up and see my event calendar and just see what's coming up and be able to have reminders for my dates and stuff. It works better than the calendar on my phone.
And
I don't know why my phone. I'm not doing something right because when I go to put in events, like I'll type the whole thing into the calendar, and then it's not there. I'll type it all in, and I click save, and then it's not there anymore.
My calendar's weird too. Like I haven't quite.
Yeah.
I stopped messing with it because my Facebook calendar works so fucking well. Like I can set an event on my Facebook calendar that's just for me, and it gives me alerts and updates. Hey, remember you have this custom event coming up on this day. Oh, hey, as a reminder, you have a custom event tomorrow starting at this time. Hey, today, your custom event's coming up at this time.
Yeah, I use it too when I'm asked about a date or what I'm doing. I go, and even when I'm booking stuff, because I don't want to book an event if there's something else that people are going to want to go to.
Yeah.
So let's open this last beer.
Let's get this last beer. This Neapolitan ice cream sour.
Yeah.
Like with me, I really don't use Facebook on the regular. I mean, a lot of times I do it to share Brews with Dudes. I mean, obviously, the Doom Room, I'm sharing all that kind of stuff all the time. Podcastrophe, all the stuff we do with the guys, and I just guess I don't really pay attention to all the other stuff all that much. I mean, everybody kind of notices I don't post anything for anything most of the time.
I gotta say, in terms of Facebook, I have a problem with scrolling. Like, I'll just start looking at stuff. And
I'm a video watcher.
I had people, I fucking hate saying this, I had people give blatant spoilers to Avengers already.
Oh, dude.
I hate that. I have been avoiding scrolling on Facebook for just that.
And that just is like, that's such an interesting, thing that is such a problem, but like it's like a very, very big deal to me. Like I keep telling people, if you want to say, guess what, they killed Thanos, I'm like, ooh, no way. But if you start saying like, this guy did this and then died, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, like I'm gonna come punch you in the throat now for saying, for telling me this when I haven't seen it.
I did see one person post spoilers and discussion of Endgame in comments, and then I saw there was comments and I didn't read them. I immediately hit and said hide post just so it wouldn't come up, because you see comments on post pop up too. You'll see some of those.
There's totally a way.
I've had to avoid.
There's got to be a way that on Facebook you could get it to block out words. I feel like there should. I guess memes would be hard to get around. There could be a way that you could say like hide all content that has these keywords.
I'm actually happy that we're going to be spending a lot of time this weekend at LaffyCon,
having fun and not looking
and just doing something else, because we'll be so easy to just like.
Oh, that smells sour.
Jesus.
That's tasty though.
Oh yeah.
We just definitely tasted
We
Neapolitan.
just broke into this Neapolitan ice cream sour. It is a milk, sugar, strawberry puree, milk chocolate, vanilla sour ale.
And you taste all of
Delicious.
it. You taste
Absolutely.
everything.
Yeah.
That is wild.
It's got a
actually
nice
pretty
twist.
light too. It's only 4.7%.
That's awesome.
That is that is really like the dessert. I mean, we had our 3 courses, and now we're going for the dessert.
Going for the dessert.
Perfect.
Damn.
I've stopped scrolling as much and spending as much time on Facebook since burger memes went away.
Mm-hmm.
Because
likewise,
not everybody who's listening knows I was probably the main admin that helped keep that page from just imploding on itself.
It was a meme. It was a meme group.
It was a meme group.
It started out as really offensive shit, and then there was only a couple people in it at first, and then there was a big invite of a couple hundred people, and then there was a secondary huge invite, and when that second huge group got invited, then the page got overrun with just stupid memes.
It just kind of, to me, it kind of turned perverted.
I wasn't part of the first
almost.
group. I was one of the first people added, and the memes were fire. They were awful. They were gross and dirty and just disgusting. And then once more people got in, they didn't get it. They just posted stuff that's that didn't fit the criteria.
When the page was still up, I noticed somebody put a comment on here how these used to be full of like awesome memes and this, that, the other, and then it kind of turned into one of those deals where like where she was like, well, it just turned completely perverted, and it's like, well, I could see that because I remember when it was a lot of the funny ones,
perverted,
but
it's fine. It was just the thirsty memes.
It had its moments, like all like meme trends go. Like there were certain memes that came in and it just kind of flowed through, and it was just like it's where like if I follow a fuck ton of meme pages and stuff, and I actually stopped following a bunch of them after burger memes because I used to hunt down really just super saucy, nasty, offensive memes because I've continued to post those on the regular, kind of keep it up with that, kind of keep the trend going so people would be more inclined to follow through.
Post the memes you want to see.
Yeah. Like, at one point, people were, like, complaining to me. It was like, we need to get rid of this. And I just told them, if you want to see these memes, post those memes.
Yeah.
And it was like, it turned a light bulb on a lot of these people. And a lot of the stuff they stopped liking went away because they were drowning it out with the memes they wanted.
Yeah. And that's the thing, too, though. I mean, it really just takes that one good meme of any kind, whether it's a perverted one, whether it's just like a ha that's awesome dad joke kind of deal. All it takes is that one really good one where everybody changes face to it, where it's like, oh hey, I mean, memes go quicker than fads.
Yeah.
Totally. Well, let's what was your guys' favorite? Ooh. Mine might be the sour.
I really enjoy the sour, but I think that second one, that double, was probably my favorite, and then I would say that sour, and then the first one. The extra juicy bits. Yes, I really enjoyed that one.
I could drink a lot of that.
I got to say the first one was my favorite, just because it had like a lighter body to it. It wasn't as heavy, and it's probably because what time of year it is, and
season changing.
I sweat a bunch at work today, and then as soon as I got home, like I was out mowing my lawn, sweating, doing all that. So, like, I got here after taking a real hot shower, buying me a sweet laptop, and then drinking that. So that's, like, immediately signaled in on what I was craving.
See, and, like, the first one, I kind of felt like it was there would definitely be, like, one that I could drink while I'm doing the yard work and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that
but
too.
I just started doing that this past year, because I've got a ride mower.
Yeah.
I've just started drinking while mowing, and it is
relaxing.
Pretty fantastic experience.
Oh, it's so relaxing, in my opinion. I mean, I used to do it all the time. I mean, not drinking because I was younger, but even when I became of age of drinking, I used to go mow my dad's yard and stuff and have a couple beers with me or a cooler, have 3 or 4. Man, it was such a relaxing experience. And I used to hate mowing the yard. Made me love it when I could drink beer.
I love mowing the lawn.
I like mowing my lawn just because I enjoy the just the time to myself to like to think, or if I have like my headphones on to like really just listen to something, where it's just like I can't be bothered. Like
when you get that satisfaction when you're done to see it and be like, I mowed a damn good yard.
I do enjoy the way my yard looks after I've just gone through and like mowed it and cleaned it up and all that.
I mean,
I need to get my fucking mower fixed. It's been giving me troubles for a year and a half now.
Is it still the last problem you're having?
It's the belt not sticking on, and my stepdad said, like, dude, you just need to get a smaller belt. I'm like, if I get a smaller belt, then I can't get it on. He's like, dude, it's coming off because the belt's too big. I'm like,
I'm pretty sure there's some.
I wonder if a replacement part was wrong at that point.
You can loosen it up and then put it back, or just shimmy it.
I don't know.
I do have one thing to say before we cut off. I had a kind of moment this week at work. It was beginning of the day. It's not even work related. This guy's walking by and he goes, "Hey, are you Austin?" I go, and I just kind of stopped. I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "It's on my shirt." He goes, "I thought that was you." He's like, "You're that meme page guy." And I was like, "God damn it."
Like, damn, I'm recognized everywhere.
I was like, "Yeah, that's me." He's like, "I could tell by the mustache. It's pretty iconic, man." He's like, "You're pretty much a celebrity, man. That's awesome." He's like, "Well, have a good day." And I'm like, and immediately it was just, God damn it.
What have I done?
Kind of like a dumbfounded moment?
No, not dumbfounded. It was more like
a shit.
It's like, fuck. I have to deal with that shit.
Right.
Like, I don't like stuff like that. Ask Nick. I don't like a lot of, like, big recognition and, like, all that shit. Or if I do something for somebody that's nice, I don't like them, like, going out of their way to really thank me or anything. I like just, hey, thanks, man, and then on your way.
Or someone to do something special because you helped
it.
them out with something. It's like, you didn't have to do that. Like, I did that because I wanted to. If I didn't want to, I wouldn't have done it.
Like, I don't... If I'm helping people out, or if I'm doing something really nice for one of my friends, like, I'd rather just have it right there. Once I'm done, hey, thanks, man, and just go about it. Like,
I like that recognition with
being
work.
Brought up again, and I don't like it. Somebody else coming up and bringing it up again.
Yeah.
I don't like that. It's just never been something I've enjoyed.
I'm kind of in the same way, unless it comes to a work aspect. When it comes to like jobs I've done, I definitely like to credit back. The feedback back, because it just makes you feel better as an employee. Like, man, I'm actually killing it, and they think I'm killing it, so that's awesome.
Like, when it comes to work, but like,
I get where you're coming at,
like a
with
social standing wise and stuff. Like, I don't like that stuff. I like to just like kind of keep to myself, move out when I'm comfortable with it, but I don't like the extra coming at me from like that, like from people I don't know, and then coming up, hey.
Hell, just give me a head nod or a high five, and I'm satisfied. Doesn't even have to be that. Thanks for your help.
You can even give me
later.
You can even give me one of those really sweet smiles and a finger wave. Like, even if I don't know you, I'm gonna be like, yeah, that was weird, but cool. Maybe next time I see you, I'll remember your face.
Right.
But I digress. We rambled.
We're good at rambling. Let's wrap it up. Thanks again for everyone paying attention to us on Facebook Live. We appreciate you guys tuning in. The audio listeners, you are our bread and butter. We appreciate you. Love you.
Hey, Brett.
Journey to Comics Network. We love you guys. Thank you for all that you do. If you're watching on Facebook, I encourage you to come out to LaffyCon tomorrow at Carnahan Hall. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to just nerd the fuck out, playing games, talking nerd shit all fucking day. So
it's going to be fun.
Thank you, Austin, for coming over once again.
Thank you for having me.
Chris, always a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
And we will see you guys next time on another episode of Brews with Dudes.
And them boys.
Yee!